Welcome to Frost. Spawning to the top left-hand corner in purple, playing for Team Storm, is Poizon. And to the top right-hand corner in teal, playing for Horizon Academy, it's our Zerg player Sunokasuri. Seems as if Poizon wants to go into an early Nexus build here, since she's already thrown down her pylon on the low ground, which indicates that she plans to take a very early Nexus and then just wall off with the remaining buildings. That's why you usually just throw down a pylon down here, so that you will be able to wall this off more easily and way more early than usual. In the meantime, we have Sunokasuri taking her own base down here. Going hatch before pool. Could eventually even go into 3 hatch before pool, which is a bit more uncommon ever since Legacy of the Void came out, since it's a bit more risky to do against Protoss players, because Protoss players just have more options to get aggressive even when playing Nexus first on this map. And of course, you as a Zerg player, not having figured out where your opponent is right now, you can't even really tell. But it seems as if Suno really wants to take that chance and gets a 3rd hatchery before the first pool, and even getting more greedy by taking the extractor before the pool. So this is like the latest spawning pool that you can actually get with a usual standard opening. And like I said, it has become it has gotten out of fashion a little bit, due to the more aggressive options that Protoss has at her hand in that case. So Overlord in the meantime trying to scout her opponent, same thing as Poizon is trying to do. She now knows where her opponent is because she's just tracked all the other possibilities and has seen that her opponent hasn't spawned either down in the left or down in the right hand corner position. So it seems as if she just wants to throw down some sort of proxy building down here because she's not wanting to go inside the main base and checking out what Sunokasuri is actually doing. So let's see what she really wants to plant down there and what tech she wants to use in order to put pressure onto her opponent. While Suno is just trying to get her pool up and also just get more drones going, and then once her first scouting information is going to arrive, she will then eventually build a few units in order to defend. So the Zealot finally closes the gap. In the meantime, the probe is just still there doing nothing. Overlord just checking the other half of the map, while this Overlord now finally arrives at the main entrance towards the natural base, seeing that it's already fully walled off. And in the meantime, we have a Twilight Council back here. So this might either mean proxy DTs, or we could actually see some sort of a depth push. But finally, the probe is getting into movement and throwing down a pylon back here. In the meantime, we have Suno just trying to check out every single location. There's even an Overlord pretty close by, but it just barely misses the building that's going to get thrown down. So Link's just checking for a 3rd potential, but pretty unlikely 3rd over here. It's not there. Okay, Links just have to retreat because the Mothership Core is out. We also have an Adept in place. So it seems with the Resonating Glaives upgrades incoming, it's going to be a heavy Adept push down here. Poizon is probably going to throw down another gateway here as well, so the warp-in just won't take as long. And if she just places the warp-gate at the wrong position, okay, it's to the left, so the Overlord shouldn't see it at all. So still, how very unfortunate for Sunokasuri just not realizing what is going on, because she has a lot of map vision actually with all of her units out and everything, but there's just this tiny little place that she hasn't been scouting. In the meantime, we have the Speedlings just chilling out a little bit at the 4th base location, now just running along the watchtower, just getting a little more of a view. So it seems as if once Resonating Glaives are going to finish, yeah, she's now already throwing down a few more gateways. We will be seeing a lot of Adept warp-ins right at that location over here. Maybe then finally the Overlord is going to see something, but probably not. I mean, she can always just warp in Adepts around here and the Overlord would never spot it. In the meantime, Sunokasuri, it seems, is really desperate. to check out what her opponent is actually trying to do. So finally a few adepts make their way towards the third base location. The Lings are not really there. Overlord just tries to sneak in, find some information, but there's only one Stalker around here. So actually that Stalker might even trick Sunokasuri in thinking that it's more going to be or that it's going to be more of a stalker-based play than an adept-based play. So, and even Blink also coming out right now is actually quite an odd composition. Maybe Poizon just wants to plan ahead and wants to have some Blink Stalkers around should Sunokasuri transition into Mutas later on, because Sunokasuri is pretty well known for her Muta play, but right now she's only getting her Hive at 5 minutes and 30, which is quite a normal timing, nothing too unusual here. She doesn't actually have a lot of Lings out, only the ones that are just running around on the map, but once this Adept push is coming out, so does she finally see the weapons? No, just barely not. I mean, they're right to the right edge of everything, so how, like I said again, how very unfortunate for Suno here. Now finally the Adepts move in, kill the Queen off, and will then just move inside the natural base. Okay, or even shading into, or just walking into the third. No, just shading over towards here. Nice little positioning here by Poizon. Just not that much of surface area for the Lings to surround. So it will take quite some time to take these Adepts down. In the meantime, they're just going to kill so many units. 11, 12 have already gone down. 32 more Lings in the making. 13 drones falling before finally this push gets cleaned up. And the only thing that Poizon actually has to do is just warp in more Adepts and continue the pressure. So pretty odd that Poizon is okay. She just realizes that her opponent is trying to get a third base down here because the Overlord has just shown her. So she continues pressuring with her own Lings. So we'll probably try to take down that third base. And I don't actually see any possibilities for Poizon here to save it. I mean, in the meantime, no, we don't have warp-ins over here. Mostly warp-ins just at the natural base entrance, but these units just will be too late. If Sunokasuri finally focus fires that Nexus, it should just get torn down, gets cancelled, and that's actually the best thing that Sunokasuri doesn't want to lose more Lings over here unnecessarily, so she just saves most of them. Pretty interesting that she doesn't actually check for that base, for that proxy location down here. I mean, she must have seen the Adepts coming in from that angle. The Queen just was here and got killed while the Adepts were just walking in from that angle. So yeah, she should actually just know. Maybe we'll now realize it by taking that base down here. Okay, more Adept shading, and this time around the Lings are already there, and this time this is a way better surround for Sunokasuri here. The Adepts don't really have the chance to focus fire down that many workers, still get 4 before getting cleaned up, but that's an okay trade. I mean, that were what 5 or 6 Adepts, and again, just not trying to find the proxy. I mean, by now she really must know, but I think she prefers to take down that base over here once more, so just runs in again, but there are too many Adepts plus photon overcharges available as well, so she just retreats for now, checks for the 4th base, or the natural 3rd base location, and then maybe sees if she might be able to run through this wall, but the Zealot is in place, hold position is active, so no chance for Suno to actually deal any more damage over at Poizon's location. It's still looking kind of okay for Suno. I mean, she's up about 20 supply. She has a 4th base in the making. The only thing she finally has to find is this proxy gate over here before she can actually then take it down. And Mutalisks have now been in production. We also see a lot of Banelings getting morphed in, so a lot of these units will actually help tremendously against this kind of unit composition that's mostly light units. And, or actually all light units, right? Light, light, and light as well. So Banelings will just crush through everything once they arrive. And there's actually not that much anti-air as well. I mean, only the sentries plus a few photon overcharges. Yes, Blink is available, but that's actually the only thing speaking for Poizon, but she doesn't have any Stalkers anyways. So there the Banelings roll in, just kill off almost everything on the ground instantaneously. But of course the photon overcharges just keeps a lot of these units busy. So the Lings actually trying to deal some more damage, trying to take down the photon cannon. Nice little force field over here. And yeah, finally she can actually drive everything away. But the Mutas in the meantime just have flown into the natural base, now even going into the main base. Don't really know if I like that decision, but at least it helps her seeing that Dark Shrine over here. So Suno should now know if she really is watching and caring about what happened there. I think she should have just stayed inside the natural base, killing off more workers with hold position micro or something like that. Now she's going to lose a few more Mutas and has not really dealt that much damage that she could have dealt. Okay, Queen in the meantime just attacking the warp gate, I think by auto attack. So she just again wants to get into the third base, tries to kill more workers. 20 have now already fallen, and now it's Sunokasuri's 105 to 71 supply already. She has actually the tech advantage here mostly. Poizon just tries to work with a few phoenixes here, just has the Stargate down, and now just actually 2 Stargates down, and now just tries to desperately get the Phoenixes out. Yeah, Suna actually managed to kill that pylon off, so she actually delayed Phoenix production by quite a nice margin. In the meantime, she finally takes out that gateway and that pylon over here. A small group of a few Stalkers just try to get closer to the middle of the map, but they retreat, luckily for them. Before the army can actually finally arrive. Okay, there's a few Phoenixes out, so the Mutas just won't help out that much anymore, especially if Suna really wants to attack into that fortified location, but she actually doesn't. So just checks for another 4th base, which is just the best thing she can do. Should actually just take a 5th base down here as well, and as I speak of it, she's already trying to do so. So observers just get a good idea of what's going on the map. Anyways, okay, now finally get shut down with the help of that Overseer. There's the 5th base going to be planted down in just a few seconds. And a few Dark Templars also get morphed in as well, but are just being used as Archons. To morph Archons in that case. Do we actually have... I mean, there's not really that much static D inside of Sunokasuri's bases. We have Spore Crawlers in place that would help detect the DTs, but they actually don't even help fight the DTs. So now finally it's only the Queen plus the DT. Okay, seems as if Poizon just wants to take down the Queen first, before then finally maybe taking care of these drones, but yeah, she just gives the Lynx enough time to come back in order to kill the DT off. So I think by that point Sunokasuri should just try to attack, or should just build up a few more static defenses in order to not fall to DTs anymore. And in this case, the Mutas just try to fly in from the from the left-hand side, from the left flank, but there's more than enough Phoenixes in place, as well as Blink Stalkers. So most of these Mutas are, or the Mutas have just mostly become obsolete in this matchup. Nothing more that they can do at that point in time. Poizon trying to take a 4th base, while the 5th base is almost finished for Suno. In the meantime, Suno just trying to make the best out of the Mutas, just tries to fly them around as much as possible. She can't really openly engage with the Mutas over here. The only arrest army that she has are Zerglings, but actually a hell of a lot of them. And if she just gets a good surround, and that should be more than possible, especially on creep, wow, Poizon really has a death wish, it seems. Just advancing that far onto creep without a mothership core even, was probably thinking that most of Sunokasuri's army would be air units like Mutas, but there's also Corruptors as well, so yes, of course the Phoenixes can just fly away, killing off the Mutalisks in the process, but against the Corruptors they don't even do nearly as well, so... yeah, it seems as if Suno will just be able to walk across the map, kills the remainders of the army right here, will also kill that Archon. Poizon GG's out and realizes she can't win that game anymore, and it's going to be 1-0 for Sunokasuri. Welcome back to New Gettysburg. In this thrilling best of 3 between the players spawning to the bottom left-hand corner in purple, named Poizon, and the player spawning to the bottom right-hand corner in teal, playing for Horizon Academy, is Sunokasuri. who's already sending out her first Overlord, while Poizon is going for a really early scout over here. Probably just wants to make sure that her opponent is not trying to cheese her with an early pool at all. Sees that a base has already been taken, sees the extractor going down as well. So just a usual standard Zerg opening from Sunokasuri here, no early pool. But yeah, she actually just wanted to know that, it seems, and is now even closing the bridge off with one pylon. So since this pylon is now down here, miraculously Sunokasuri's units, if she just sends them towards this base using an A-click, will somehow know that this bridge is actually closed. I mean, now she knows for certain because the overlords are there, but even if they weren't here, the units would then automatically just choose the longer route via this watchtower and then down into the natural base. So that's just giving you a lot more time. And if your opponent, of course, just wants to break through this by hand, just moving the forces down to this pylon over here and then just taking it out by hand by just clicking on it, your opponent will of course always know that something is happening, and it's still going to buy you a lot of time before the units finally break through. So either way, you've just gained a lot of momentum by throwing down that pylon on that bridge. So that's why a lot of people actually like to do it. In this case around Sunokasuri just scouts it right away. There's another probe down here scouting for a potential third base that isn't incoming yet. And in the meantime, the spawning pool just researching speed, just a normal measure. Seems as if Sunokasuri just wants to scout for possible proxy shenanigans anyways, and will now be able to take down that probe before it can finally escape, because those were slow links, so the probe might have gotten away for a little bit longer before speed would have finally kicked in. And Sunokasuri will be able to take the third base. Something that Poizon will probably assume right now, after the links have actually killed off the probe over here. But of course she doesn't really know for certain. I mean, it's pretty likely that your opponent takes the third base if they spend the time to clear it. But of course, an opponent could just mind game or trick you. In this case, it's not the case. So Mothership Core just out here. We have one pylon position helping to defend this. I mean, this Overlord is, yeah, actually just retreating. That Overlord doesn't want to get it shot down with the help of the photon overcharge here. But of course, it's still wide open, and Sunokasuri knows that. So she could just commit to a lot of units and maybe overrun it, but she doesn't want to do that. This time around, which is quite interesting here, she goes for a Roach Warren. And that's something we don't see her do that often. It seems as if her playoff match against Mitsukotsu just told her that she actually has to play some different styles every now and then. Because Mitsukotsu and a lot of other players just told her that she was playing so excellently throughout the playoffs, but she just was a little bit predictable because she always went mutas in most of her builds, which caused Sunokasuri to explain to us that she just has never practiced a lot of roach builds because they are just not her type of unit. And this time around, seeing a Roach Warren even producing roaches is something that's pretty new to Sunokasuri and her gameplay. So of course it also might catch Poizon unaware. So we'll see. And this time around, the Overlord just flying in sees that already a few Phoenixes are in production. So either Poizon just decided to go for a Phoenix opening because there are a lot of possibilities to get into your opponent's main via an air route, or maybe she just wanted to already discourage her opponent from going into mutas early on, which Sunokasuri actually never wanted to do. So quite interesting turn of events here, I have to say. Sunokasuri now just planting down a few spore crawlers in order to help her fending off these pesky Phoenixes that might just fly over and kill off a few workers. In the meantime, Poizon just clearing off these Overlords that kept providing Sunokasuri important details about, or important information about where Poizon would actually just try to expand next. Okay, a few Zerglings now flying in. She could just actually fly back with her Phoenixes and then just lift them. Decides to go in with a few Shading Adepts and kills off everything that's over there. Okay, a few Roaches are already running in, but now she just realizes that Roaches were just not the best Or it was just a misrally, I don't really know, but whatever it is. Maybe it was a misrally, maybe she really wanted to attack, then seeing that there are a lot of phoenixes and also a lot of adepts. So I mean, the phoenixes alone can just be so annoying when they lift up most of your roaches, and if you only have 4 of them, it doesn't really make sense to attack anything. So in the meantime, we have just Poizon gathering more phoenixes. Now we have the magic number of 4 that usually allows you to lift a queen and kill it in one lift, and also makes it easier to just kill off drones once you pick them up. So let's see if Poizon can actually really make good use of phoenixes, because they require actually a lot of micro and attention in order to get most out of them and to use them to their full potential. And there it is! We have the queen just being lifted up and will now just get killed in one clean sweep. And there it goes down, just exploding mid-air, and all the blood and intestines just lying down on the floor. Okay, and then again, like I said before, I mean, if you just make good use of phoenixes, they can be really annoying as hell. 3 drones have already died, plus the 1 queen. Now even realizes that there's a hatchery. You can also go overlord hunting and kill off a lot of supply of your opponent, which is also very annoying because you always have to keep reproducing it. So in the meantime, we also have an oracle. I mean, there should also one out. There should also be one out on the map already, and there it is, having also thrown down a stasis ward here. So Suno again has to be careful not to walk into the same trap that Lazy Azalis did earlier on. And the longer the game goes, it's actually looking quite nicely for Poizon. I mean, Poizon hasn't really managed to deal that much damage to Sunokasuri's economy, and she's still just taken this 4th base mostly uncontested. So, now also going into Ravagers. Ravagers, of course, not the best units against Phoenixes, but of course only 4 or 5 Phoenixes are not really a big threat against this kind of army. So, in the meantime, we have a Dark Shrine incoming, and this is something that Sunokasuri is probably not expecting. I mean, she still has the Spore Crawlers in place that should help her to fend off the Phoenix harassment, but of course there's no static defense. So once like 4 DTs warp in here and take out that Spore Crawler immediately, there's just no detection inside the main base. And I think we don't even have an Overseer anywhere around. So if Poizon just warps in a few Dark Templars and splits them up quite nicely, maybe even reinforcing Dark Templars with the help of maybe a Warp Prism. Does she have... Okay, she also has a fleet beacon out, so it seems as if in the long run she again wants to go into the Golden Armada. Okay, there's no Robo out, so no Warp Prism as well, so she will have to rely on just warping in further away and then just sending them across the map, or maybe she just wants to use them for Archons anyways. So we'll see how it's going to go. But Sunokasuri again, just on top of her game. Oh, nicely done here, just losing a lot, or not actually losing, but getting these Lings put into stasis, and now she's going to just lose them eventually, because Poizon's army will now just wait for these units. Could actually just surround it, which is a move I really would wish to see right now. I mean, she obviously Sunokasuri is not watching here. Oh yes, she is! So she's just tearing them away, and like I said, you could have just surrounded these units while they were in stasis and could have just easily killed them all off. So I don't really know why she didn't do it. So in the meantime, we have also some Hydralisks out, so now I just have to restate what I said earlier on, because from now on out, actually Sunokasuri's army looks pretty scary here for the Protoss. I mean, the only thing that was going for Poizon was like the Stargate tech, and then also the DT tech as well, but she's actually never used it so much. She still has 1 Stargate out, and she also has the Fleet Beacon. Probably just wanted to have the Fleet Beacon in order to get the Phoenix upgrade, just to discourage Sunokasuri from making mutas even more, I guess, because otherwise it just wouldn't make any sense. And now the DTs are again just being morphed into more and more Archons, and Archons just won't really cut it against that kind of army with that many Hydralisks in, and the 2-2 upgrades to 1. To just 1-0, and also with Sunokasuri having like 5 bases and Poizon just barely having 4. I just can't see this being a good trade for Poizon right now. I mean, she would have just to get off the money trades right now. I mean, the stasis ward might help out a little bit, but it will mostly catch only Lings, because Lings are so fast, they will always be ahead of your army. So Suno could just walk in. I mean, she doesn't really need the Lings anyways. Most of her firepower is within the Hydralisks and the Ravagers as well, and I can't really see Poizon winning that engagement at all. Most of the units are just going to die instantaneously. We have a few more Hydralisks being back up here. There's just the Yard of Dark Templars in here, and that's actually the saving grace of Sunokasuri, it seems. And the same thing that happened to Sunokasuri in the 4th week of the FSL season mode, when Sunokasuri faced off Poizon and lost against Mars DTs, is going to happen again. Of all the things that Sunokasuri needed, she just forgot. She just forgot her detection. Oh, how bad is that? How bad is that? That is so unfortunate for her. I mean, she would have easily crushed this army with the help of a few overseers, and there they are, 3 around this time. Just has to be careful not to let them get shot down. But yeah, that was actually how she lost her season mode game versus Poizon back in the 4th week of the FSL against Mars Templars. You can still watch this on in the VOD section of my YouTube channel if you're interested in it, because yeah, Sunokasuri was again just way ahead, could have easily killed her opponent, and then the cheese just got Poizon back into the game. Yeah, that was just the only thing I was missing. I hadn't realized that there were no observers or no overseers. So, but I think this time around this should be easily it. I mean, there's again a lot of lurkers, well, not a lot of lurkers, but some lurkers in here. We have some Hydralisks as well. Lurkers now dealing damage. We have one carry out, but the carrier just won't do that much. Yeah, like I said before, has to be careful not to get, not to lose all of our overseers, but there are so many around. And there's still a lot of speed lots in here, so it seems as if Sunokasuri might have again just overcommitted here, thinking that she should have been able to take out her opponent immediately, and is now losing another army. And suddenly Poizon has found her way back into the game before, so yeah, Sunokasuri just overcommitted. Should have just waited a little bit longer, should have just gotten a few more of these lurkers. That would have probably helped out by a lot. And now we're even getting some disruptors out for Poizon here, and again this game just turned around in an instant. The DTs just got Poizon back into a game at a point in time where she should have just gotten killed. So now Suno knows where her opponent is. She still has mostly only Hydralisks. Are there any lurkers? No, there aren't. And the Hydralisks are so squishy. They just die so easily against Zealots and against Archons once they come close towards her. I mean, the Zealots only have 1-0 upgrade. It's still too much. And Sunokasuri has to give up. Poizon ties it up 1-1. King Sejong Station for the 3rd map of this best of 3. Spawning to the bottom right hand side in teal, playing Zerg, is Sunokasuri. And playing Protoss, spawning to the top left hand corner in purple, is Poizon. Very strong purple indeed. So the stronger color mod just works quite nicely here, giving those Protoss units an extra shiny look there. Poizon just managed to get herself back into the game with DTs, her favorite unit. She's pretty known for it. And Suno just does the impossible thing, goes for cheese. We've actually seen her doing this against, I don't know, who was it? She's already done that during season mode. Was it? It was a Protoss. Was it a Protoss player? I think it was a Protoss player back then. Or wasn't it? Oh, I just can't remember. Was it Koshki? I think it wasn't Koshki. I think it was against the Protoss and she won against her, but I don't really know for now. So in the meantime, Poizon is just trying to block her opponent's base down here, which is actually just the best thing that could just have happened to Suno, because now Poizon must be thinking that her opponent just wants to take another base down here. Oh, okay, it's now just pulling off some drones. She wants to have something down here in order to build spine crawlers. Finally, Poizon has realized what's going on, has already seen the hatchery down here. Now it all comes down to reaction. She puts a photon photon cannon in place, has started with a forge down here, now just pulls off a few drones, might even want to take down that hatchery before it can finally taken down. Actually, I think at that point in time, Sunokasuri could just cancel it and go back into a normal macro game, because Poizon has now just sacrificed so much mining time to take down this hatchery here, and has also just went into attack that she doesn't normally want to go into. Okay, just closing off with a zealot down here. So I think mostly that this push has been stopped. Okay, finally Poizon realizes that there's a spine crawler in the making. In the meantime, we have just Sunokasuri trying to kill off a few more units over here and there. Okay, this zealot will just easily kill off the spine crawler, and it seems as if this push just has been held. But like I said, for what cost? I mean, there's a lot of probes not actually working inside the main base. And like I said before, I mean, I don't really... it seems as if Suno really still wants to make it happen, or maybe just wants to deal some more damage before finally retreating. I mean, one queen is out. She just tries to save that hatch somehow. Finally, a few lings are coming in, killing off all of the probes, and it seems as if Sunokasuri will actually be able to save her base out here just barely, with 200 hit points left. And of course, that is just such a big problem now for Poizon. She's just sacrificed so many resources and so many mining time into canceling that base, and she wasn't able to do so. So more drones are now incoming, trying to throw down more spore crawlers over here. But of course, for now, Sunokasuri can't really get in. There's a cannon in place. We also have a zealot in place. We will also have another stalker out in just a few seconds. So even if this zealot falls, and she could just make it fall with the help of that overlord and the queen, just from far out. Okay, this mothership core, of course, can actually really win against a queen, so it has to just drive away for now, especially if the queen gets the first hit, and it did. So yeah, the stalker even won't be able to do anything. Ooh, not a nice move by Poizon here, just moving out with the stalker. Don't really know why that stalker was just moving out. Nothing there that it could have done anyway. So Poizon just desperately tries to throw down more defensive buildings by building cannons, but of course the spine crawlers are now being built even closer to... Sunokasuri even gets Poizon to just throw down a pylon overcharge already. She just wants to keep her zealot inside that gap as long as possible, but of course with the help of the overlord, now Sunokasuri has high ground vision, so once the spine crawlers go down, they will just easily take out that zealot over here. Has to be careful not to lose it to that cannon fire over here though. Okay, so at least one photon cannon goes down, will now help tearing down that one spine crawler over here. But once Sunokasuri just gets... she just doesn't have vision of that photon cannon up here. She just tries to tear down these buildings as early as possible. Now just tries to get in with a few lings, but the force field is ready. Okay, but a few lings still get inside the base because the sentry was just taken down. And I mean, yeah, of course, the photon cannon is just taking down more and more units. Sunokasuri just runs by all of the defenses through the open gap, is now inside Poizon's base, with only one photon cannon right in the morphing, just tries to micro as best as she can. And of course, the narrow gap just helps her out a little, gives the mothership core a little bit more time to kill off more and more Zerglings. Oh, Suno actually has to be careful, normally just wants to tear down that photon cannon over here. So again, just a little bit, okay, doesn't really matter anymore. Sunokasuri just wins with a cheese, takes the 2-1 and advances to the winners finals.